Step into any gathering, and you'll notice the invisible threads that hold it together. Friendly teasing that keeps everyone in line, predictable banter that fills awkward gaps, and those unspoken rules about who sits where or speaks when. Most people tug on those threads and feel reassured. A Sigma male cuts right through them. He enters quietly, observes, and behaves as if the usual social gravity barely touches him. This indifference does more than make him stand out. It exposes how tightly everyone else clings to group approval. A Sigma male is a rare breed of man who does not conform to the usual alpha or beta male script. They are the type of men who believes in never changing who they are for the sake of others and living life as themselves unapologetically. In this video, I'll be discussing 8 reasons why Sigma males are feared in every social circle. Number 1. They remain unfazed by peer pressure. Crowds lean on subtle signals to keep members aligned. A raised eyebrow to shame a dissenting view, a collective chuckle to reward conformity, a round of applause to crown the day's hero. A Sigma processes these signals and then decides on his own response, unhurried and unemotional. He knows the praise is conditional and the teasing is tactical, so neither gets inside his skin. When group momentum tries to sweep him along, whether it's a shared complaint or a risky dare, he weighs the idea on personal values rather than popularity. That calm refusal to bend breaks an unspoken promise that everyone will nod together. In the space where his nod should be, people see their own dependence on consensus, and the reflection isn't flattering. Some call it arrogance, others call it mystery. Either way, the group now feels a little less sure that its rules are universal. Number 2. Their silence forces others to fill the gaps. Most conversations bloom by mutual agreement that silence is awkward. The longer a pause lasts, the more tension creeps in, and someone, usually several someones, rushes to patch it with words. A Sigma lets that tension hang. He is perfectly willing to weigh his thoughts, watch facial cues, and remain still while everyone else scrambles to feel comfortable again. The gap becomes a mirror that shows people their own impatience, their need to overshare, their habit of talking circles just to keep air moving. By the time he finally speaks, he has gathered more information than most manage in an hour of chatter, and he delivers it with precision. Listeners may feel relieved or exposed, depending on whether his quiet attention confirmed or contradicted the image they projected. The uncertainty about what he's thinking, combined with the knowledge that he's probably right, makes the next pause feel even heavier. Number 3. Their eye contact feels like an X-ray. Glances usually bounce around a room like harmless light, landing only long enough to signal friendliness or retreat. A Sigma's gaze, however, settles. It observes without apology, steady and unblinking, as though layers of performance peel away under the scrutiny. People sense instinctively that their practiced smiles and rehearsed stories are being compared against micro-expressions they can't control. They start explaining too much, laughing too loudly, or avoiding his eyes altogether. All reactions that confirm his read before he utters a single word. The gaze unsettles not because it is hostile, but because it is indifferent to polite masks. When someone looks through the facade to weigh what lies beneath, it raises the question nobody likes to answer. What if the view isn't flattering? Number 4. They hear what isn't said and call it out. A room hums with more than spoken sentences. It pulses with half-finished thoughts, strategic omissions, and polite dodges. A Sigma listens for those gaps the way a locksmith listens for tumblers inside a lock. He notices the downward glance that accompanies a confident claim, the change of subject when a sensitive topic edges closer, the slight tremor in someone's voice when they say everything is fine. Where others might let the moment slide to keep conversation smooth, he puts a gentle finger on the soft spot. He'll ask, in a tone too genuine to ignore, "Is there something else on your mind?" The directness lands like a spotlight snapping on. Those who trade in half-truths feel suddenly overexposed, and even honest people wonder how much of their inner dialogue has been overheard. The fear isn't that he will reveal every secret, it's that he already sees them. Number 5. They don't need people to feel important. Human beings are tribal by design, drawing status from who laughs at their jokes, who invites them to dinner, and who tags them in photos. A Sigma's self-worth runs on an internal engine that doesn't require these external fuels. If a conversation bores him, he leaves. If an event no longer aligns with his priorities, he disappears without apology. His willingness to vanish at any point short-circuits social leverage, which usually relies on fear of exclusion. The group cannot dangle acceptance as reward or withdrawal as punishment. Both are irrelevant to someone who finds solitude as nourishing as company. This immunity forces observers to confront how much of their own identity is outsourced to crowd approval. That realization can feel like standing on shifting sand, and people often project that discomfort onto the Sigma who triggered it. Number 6. They can compartmentalize emotions so deeply it seems inhuman. Stressful moments act like magnifying glasses, enlarging fears, doubts, and frustrations for the whole room to see. Voices rise, faces flush, and nerves fray together in a shaky chorus. In that din, the Sigma's heartbeat barely changes. Feelings register, but he files them away for later analysis, leaving judgment clear and movements deliberate. The room interprets this composure as a challenge. Why isn't he panicking like the rest of us? Some label him cold. Others suspect he simply doesn't care. The truth is more nuanced. He cares enough to stay functional when everyone else freezes. His composure exposes the possibility that panic is optional, that maturity can ride herd on emotion rather than being ridden by it. That possibility feels liberating to some and threatening to many. Number 7. They believe privacy is more valuable than most friendships. Modern culture treats personal information like party confetti, flung everywhere for instant connection and quick approval. A Sigma keeps his story in a locked drawer, offering only what is situationally necessary. Colleagues may spend years working nearby and still not know where he grew up, what he fears, or who he admires. To people raised on reciprocal vulnerability, this feels like withholding trust. In reality, he sees privacy as a form of security and self-respect. The fewer loose threads others can tug, the less chance of manipulation or misunderstanding. That reserve turns him into a puzzle, and puzzles unsettle those who crave predictability. The unknown gets filled with speculation, and speculation often drifts towards suspicion. Number 8. They think community can sometimes be a euphemism for collective inertia. The virtue of togetherness is a sacred mantra. We're stronger as one. A Sigma regards that statement with caution. He has seen groups slow to a crawl while waiting for everyone to feel comfortable, and he's watched bold ideas diluted until they pose no risk to anyone's ego. To him, community is valuable when it accelerates growth and protects the vulnerable. It becomes a burden when it smothers initiative under layers of consensus. By voicing skepticism about rituals or activities everyone else deems essential, he challenges the sentimental halo around the word community. The implication is unsettling. Group loyalty might not always be a virtue. Those whose status depends on maintaining that halo will bristle, sometimes fiercely, at his reluctance to chant along. A Sigma male doesn't stride into a social circle intent on sowing fear. The discomfort he triggers is collateral damage from his independence. He resists peer pressure, so the crowd feels its power weaken. He respects silence, so chatter reveals itself as noise. He looks people in the eye, listens between their words, and keeps his own counsel under lock and key. Each habit strips away a layer of collective illusion, leaving bare the realities most prefer to keep glossed over. That exposure is both invitation and warning. It invites anyone brave enough to examine their own hidden dependencies, to swap reflexive conformity for deliberate choice. It warns anyone invested in social games that their usual moves won't land. In a world where fitting in is often easier than standing out, the Sigma male reminds every room that approval is a tool, not a necessity, and that true autonomy starts where the need for applause ends. Do you agree with the points I mentioned in this video? We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. For more deep dives into the Sigma male mindset, be sure to check out our other videos. Thank you for watching and being a part of our community. If you're ready to continue your journey toward achieving greatness, hit the like button and subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos. Click here to see 8 pieces of advice every older Sigma male will tell you.